Hello, Poke Posse. I'm PokéThrillz Tyler, and welcome to the very first ever Thrillz podcast. And today, as you can see, I have my good friend Jay here joining us for the very first podcast ever. Hopefully, I can get some big old neat people into the podcast and have a really good podcast. I don't know. This is the first time I'm doing it. We're experimenting. I don't know if hopefully I can even edit this and put it out there to you all, but we'll see. With my podcast, I mostly just want to talk about Pokemon, our lives, how we got started, when we got started, favorite Pokemon, all that, just a journey of conversation and Pokemon. And people I'm going to bring in there, just Pokemon's a big part of their lives, and they have a lot of passion with Pokemon, and hopefully we can have some really good conversations to share with you all too, and you can all learn a little bit maybe more about me even and my guests.
We're gonna go deep.
We're gonna go deep. We're gonna get real deep. Real deep in that.
Some tears.
Yeah. Some tears, some deep in twisting, spinning. The podcast, they might not always be PG, but
well, that's fine if they want clean. I can't steer the channel. Sometimes we push it a little on the, but we try and keep it clean on the other.
Right. And this will be fun. This will be interesting. I hope this all works out. This is the first time you can use a StreamYard. So we'll see. We'll see. But like I said, I got Jay here for our very first episode. He's definitely at his own house, not just right across from me. But oh man.
But I could be now. Honestly, anytime I could now.
Yeah.
So
and that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we wanted to try something real quick though.
Yes.
We want to be like one of those other assholes who do like podcasts and stuff.
Tell us if we think this intro will work.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think about this intro. Hello, Poke Posse. I'm PokéThrillz Tyler, and welcome back to the PokéThrillz studio. And today we have a spectacular guest. We have Jay joining us in the Thrillz podcast. Hopefully, to have a great conversation. How are you, Jay?
Really good. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad you could come here and join this conversation with us.
Me too.
I hate it so much. I feel so douchey. Oh, man. All right, Jay. Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Cool. Well,
So,
why don't you start with your background? You're the host.
okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So, as you all know, PokéThrillz Tyler make Pokemon YouTube content. And, got started out in Pokemon myself right at the very beginning in 90s. What did the Pokemon Blue came out?
95. That's when the game came out.
That's when the game came out? Okay.
I don't know when the cards came out.
Cards came out in the US in about 99.
Okay.
Some people were starting to get them in 98, unless you were in the Japanese ones from 96. But, I saw literally, not going to use last names or anything, but literally saw this girl in elementary school playing Pokemon Blue, the Game Boy game, and I never even heard of Pokemon. I had no idea what it was, and begged my dad to go and get me that game. And
Please,
Daddy, please. And after lots of convincing, I eventually got it. And ever since I started playing Pokemon Blue, and if you don't know what Pokemon Blue is, like that was the very first game ever for the regular Game Boy.
We're gonna go rock in 95. What? Gosh.
Like you don't even understand.
Wait. We got some of you people watching might be like we're not born. We can't remember that.
Yeah, some of you are like, whoa, it's 1995.
Yeah.
What's that?
Hello.
But this is not even Game Boy Color. This is a Game Boy.
Original Game Boy.
Like some of you might even like the really old machine called the Game Boy Color. Like no. The original Game Boy was when Pokemon Blue and Red came out. And in Japan they had Pokemon Green, but we didn't get that here in the US.
No, they had green and yellow, didn't they, over there? Or was it green and red over there?
Green and red, and then we got yellow later. That was later. It was red, blue, and green in Japan, and here we got just red and blue.
Yes, okay.
So I got blue, and then ever since then I just been a phenom of Pokemon. And once we got started in cards in 1999, then all of a sudden I was collecting cards like crazy. Still remember me pulling my very first base set Charizard holographic.
I hate you. I never pulled one. I never pulled one.
Pulled it from a Venusaur pack from Target.
I never. I didn't pull any of the big three. I never pulled one of the big things.
Really?
Really.
Man. And then, like everyone else during school, you know, Pokemon's not the cool thing to do anymore, so you didn't collect Pokemon cards. That wasn't the cool thing to do. So had a little lull until about I want to say 2013-ish. So I would say I probably quit collecting after the Neo line, Neo Genesis, Neo Revelation, and all that. So about 2003-ish, 2004-ish is when a lot of people our age started going into a lull. And I still play the games, but I could do that secretively. But the cards,
in high school. Hey guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just go home and play the video games like Pokemon Stadium and all that. So I stayed up.
Oh yeah, because there was no portable gaming devices here yet besides the Game Boy.
Yeah, and so like you could play the games and we finally go home and we all play the games still. Like you guys come over and play. You and your brother would come over, Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap and stuff, but you weren't cool to collect the cards because what you did with cards is you took them to school, took them to daycare, and traded with everyone.
It was kind of a closet thing because it just wasn't cool. I mean,
yeah, like you were a dork. No one liked you.
Yeah, you never thought you were weird for collecting cards of like, what they call it, like imaginary animals.
But like with you and stuff, I could have you guys come over and we could play video games all we wanted with Pokemon games, but we would the card game kind of slipped away for a while because of just the life and trying to not be the dork in school.
That period where you're just trying to figure out who you are in life.
I mean, you don't want to be rejected.
Yeah.
And then
let's reverse this back though. You remember, like that was a Game Boy, but then you got that Super Game Boy where you could plug it into your Super Nintendo and play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then the Pokemon trading card game and Pokemon Pinball.
Pokemon Pinball is the best game. That's a spin-off of Pokemon. I fucking love that game.
Which one?
Pinball.
Pinball? Oh, it was great.
I played it like 3 years. I just couldn't. It was the best spin-off, I think.
I actually still have the game, but I actually just sold it.
You ass.
Well, I'm planning to get another one, but
oh man, my brother and I just on summer vacations. Oh my god, that's all we did on the car rides. It was just.
It didn't have the battery. They didn't have the battery holder or anything, so you couldn't get the rumble from the pinball. And so I want to get one that's complete.
Okay.
And so I can still, because that was part of the fun is having a rumble every time you hit, So, but anyways, then around 2012, just a little after high school, and actually this is kind of get into Jay's story a little bit, but kind of ruin a little bit of his story.
Yeah.
But Black and White was out, and Jay was like, dude, screw it. Let's just get cards again. Because we both really wanted to collect cards again. My cards were all given away from my dad. But he just thought,
I don't know what happened.
He was like, I think he was kind of like, well, they don't want these anymore because we were closetly hiding how much we actually liked them. And I was so mad because I was closetly still trading my original base set. And I ended up getting I had the Dark Charizard holographic Team Rocket. I had the holographic Charizard base set. I had all these things I was still constantly secretly trading people. I wasn't necessarily going on the packs because I was too embarrassed to go to the store and buy a pack. I was too embarrassed to go buy a game. Like even after
that's what started off. I told you, let's go. I want a game. I bought it brand new. I got a Game Boy, whatever the one was out. I don't know if it was the 3DS. I don't know.
Because after the Neo line, like that's when we hit teens, early teens, and so like in 2003, we were we were 15. Holy cow!
Yeah, right around there.
14, 15.
Yeah.
Early teens. So like I
started high school in 2004. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
we're born in 89, so
I'd be 15.
2003.
So you and I would be 15.
14, 15, yeah. But I was too scared to go buy a game. But I made my dad and my mom go buy me games in the stores because I was too embarrassed.
I just didn't have money.
Yeah. So I was too embarrassed to buy games. So I'd give my parents money to go buy it for me because they're like, you're weird. So like we didn't collect the cards because my dad would never go and buy packs. So I just had to give up on the cards. So I was too embarrassed to go buy those. But then, after high school, like, bro, it doesn't matter anymore. We're out of school.
No, I'd gone to college for a few years, came back, and then we were just like,
screw it, dude, who cares?
And
then the Black and White era was out. Man, we just put up and turned up with terror on Toys R Us.
I bought the Game Boy.
Rest in peace, Toys R Us.
And I bought the Game Boy, and it wasn't Black and White though. This was after Black and White. Or was it before?
No, it was during black and white. So it was like.
But I didn't buy the black and white game. It was a different game I bought.
Oh, XY probably. It was right.
Yes.
Right after.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't remember what Game Boy it was. It wasn't. I don't think it was a 3DS yet. It was.
It was the Game Boy Advance.
Maybe. But I already had one of those.
Oh, Game Boy SP.
I can remember. Anyway, yeah, that was all
There's
started.
There's that lump of time where there's so many Game Boys.
Yeah.
3DS wasn't out yet.
No, I don't think it was I don't know. But anyway, yeah, because I convinced him to go. And
And
I
then
talked to him like, let's just go. It was dark. It was colder. I think it was winter time.
yeah, and then we just tore up Toys R Us. It was
I got
crazy.
to me, and then we saw the cars, and he was like, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And I think you pulled the Blastoise.
I pulled the Blastoise from Black and White. I can't remember. I actually gave it to John Crosby.
Yeah.
Because he was really into Blastoise. I gave it to him as a gift. It was a Black and White base set. I can't remember. But anyways, so ever since then, Black and White into XY into Sun and Moon, we're collecting what it was about the Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon was just getting over by the time I started. I was watching Lean Heart. Well, actually, we weren't watching YouTubers. We were just collecting for ourselves.
YouTube was still
pretty young.
pretty young.
And yeah, there wasn't really any YouTubers. And then we started watching YouTube. I was like, holy crap, people are opening up packs on YouTube and making content.
Yeah.
I was like, holy cow, I really want to, I could do that. I could do what Lean Heart's doing, you know? This was before Lean Heart had 1 million subscribers. He was still pretty, I mean, he was the biggest YouTuber.
You're going to lose my face. I got to text my wife back.
Okay. So I had I was like, I can do this. I saw these YouTubers. It was mostly like Lean Heart was running the game right now. Like no one even knew who PokéRed was, and no one really knew who Real Breaking Nate was much. It was like Lean Heart was controlling.
I didn't know these people because I went to LOL again. I stopped. I don't know what I was doing. I just gonna stop. I still hung out with Tyler.
You started life.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Got met my wife in 2015. No, 2014.
It was really, I mean, like I started like right when COVID hit. It was just like inappropriate timing.
Yeah, you sent me the link of your first video during COVID.
And everyone was like, oh, you just wrote another COVID content creator. I'm like, well, I kind of started right at COVID.
Yeah, because I got them, yeah.
And it was like, I didn't start because of COVID. I didn't need a hobby. I was already doing it. It was already in the works and stuff. But
what was your reason? I don't know. My house will talk about it.
Yeah, like literally, like the only reason I even started it because I saw these people, like content creators. I'm like, man, I want to open packs with people and like, you know what I mean, like make friends and have pack openings with people, and like they might not be here present, but like at least I'm not alone opening packs or alone talking about Pokemon.
Yeah, and you doing that got me back into it again because yeah, like I said, I went through life, got married, had a child, and I was just
Yeah, I sent you the link to my very first video ever. It was so bad, so cringy. Don't go find it. It's still on YouTube. Don't go find it. And then I sent it to you, and then like, hey, bro, if you ever need a guest, I'm like, bro, you're in. I think like the third video you're in.
It's probably
third or fourth, maybe.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. And he had to reteach me a lot of stuff. You had to reteach me a lot.
Which I was still learning that kind of stuff because I was still into Pokemon and collecting, but like I didn't know all the tricks and trades with like card tricks necessarily, and
no, we didn't know anything about shuffling or how to do.
Yeah, we just opened packs and went to the hollow. If there was a hollow, you know, it wasn't like we weren't into like the actual content creating part of it. We just did the card part, ripping packs. Anyways, so with my story kind of out there now, the first podcast, I have to kind of explain my story. So. I mean, I've already told kind of a lot of our viewers, but
a little bit. So mine
start from the beginning.
Mine started that same year, '95. I was talking about that. I don't remember why I asked for it. I really don't. No idea. I don't know. If maybe my brother had some. I have no idea. They got us for Christmas. Yeah, Christmas. We got it, but we had to share it. So that was fun. They didn't get each of our own color. We had to share it.
Well, if I remember, I spent all my allowance on it.
Yeah, I didn't think because of Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it came out close enough to Christmas, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't remember after I got mine, my brother had to spend his allowance.
I'm trying to remember when the anime show came on to U.S. If that had anything to do with it.
It was around the same time as the game.
So I wonder if that had something to do with it for me.
The animation started around '95, I think.
I wonder if I saw that.
I think we were just watching the show.
And there was commercials all over the place too.
Yeah. The name was getting out there.
Yeah, so that started for me, and the first pack or packs I got were from Barnes and Noble. The bookstore had them, and they were like,
they still sell them.
Yeah, they do. It wasn't that much. So I go there every day. But
it's honestly like a sleeper store still.
Yeah.
Like no one really goes to Barnes and Noble for packs. Like I never do. I'm like, shoot, why not?
And that was my first one my grandparents bought for me, and I pulled my first holographic, which was a Ninetales. It was my first holographic pull.
Nice, that's a good pull.
And so I was ecstatic, but I didn't have anything to keep them. I didn't have the blankets. I didn't have any of that stuff. Because I didn't know about it. I just thought I didn't know these were worth thing. I just cards.
Yeah.
Cool cards. So eventually I did get something to keep them in, but I wasn't on it. Like my brother and I would do chores for my dad, and he'd go buy us stuff. Like he'd buy us. Like, oh, we want to get, hey, do all this, and we'll go. And I think the second pack it was meant for the game. The trading card game. It wasn't meant for collecting. It gave you cards.
Oh.
It was meant for.
It was kind of like a deck.
Deck thing, and it was Kangaskhan was the big important.
Oh, okay.
So So I actually got into it first to play the game. I wasn't really about collecting. I was about playing the game.
Yeah, and that's a lot of things too with these content creators and us people that have been in the game. Like, oh, it's like you don't even play the game. I'm like, well, we did, but
yeah, I forgot how to play now. I couldn't tell you. But
I mean, like, I could get through a game, but it would be ugly, and I know I'm not good enough to compete or anything like that. So I
don't even. Yeah.
I mean, my very first playing mat had like literally the game on it, like so you could play.
Yeah, you're right.
And they added a couple extra scores for my Hall of Fame section, but like we played the game, but it's just like now we never were good enough at it, so it's like now we just collect.
I was really into it though. I got the game, and I got starting out, and I got a board game, Pokemon, and then my main fix came from going to your house. So that was where I got my main fix. Because at my time, I was really involved with basketball, so I didn't have a ton of time to. That was just what I was doing. It's school, practice, home. So weekends was my time to do anything. I just hang out with him, and he just kept me into it. That's the only like we'd play Blue, and we'd try and do different evolve forms. Like we pick a Pokemon. Like, we're gonna evolve this one today, and just we'd play and play and play.
And the other great thing was though you got Pokemon Red.
I did get Red. I didn't get Blue.
And I had Blue. And which back in the day when you did this, Red only had certain Pokemon and Blue only had certain Pokemon. So if you wanted to legitimately catch them all, you literally had to find someone else with the other game.
Cable. You had to use that stinking cable.
So it wasn't Bluetooth or anything like that. Like we had a connecting cable, and you had to connect both of the Game Boys to create a trade. And there's lots of stuff.
And in order to get certain ones, you had to trade.
Yeah.
For instance, that was frustrating because it's like, I want this Alakazam. Well, you can't get this Alakazam. You have to trade. I don't know what the trade was, but you had to trade just to get it to evolve to Alakazam.
Yeah, Gengar to
Gengar,
the Haunter.
Yeah, and there's probably a couple. Oh, Machamp. You couldn't get a Machamp unless you.
Yeah. And then also though too is like Red had Weedle in the Beedrill line. If I remember, I think this is how it was. And then Blue had the Caterpie and the Butterfree line.
Yes.
But you couldn't get Weedle in Blue, and you couldn't get Caterpie in Red.
No, and you couldn't get Sandshrew in Blue and Red. You get it in Blue.
Okay.
I think Psyduck was Blue only. Psyduck was only Blue.
Okay.
That's another reason why I like Polyrus. Because Psyduck was only Blue.
And you were a huge Psyduck fan.
I was a big Psyduck.
I mean, you still are, but
yeah.
But yeah.
Mainly from the show. He was my favorite from the show. There's another one. I don't think. Meow.
You said Magmar earlier.
Magmar was blue, and I don't understand why Magmar was blue.
Yeah.
Magmar should have been red, and I think Farfetch'd was blue. Again, was Farfetch'd red only?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Farfetch'd was one of those.
Was Meowth one though?
Meowth was only blue, I think.
Yeah. So I wonder which ones were only, because we're mentioning a lot of only blue, but Red had to have theirs as well.
Yeah, you can probably look it up on your not this, but your
phone.
Phone or your laptop thing.
Yeah, and which we might get into that, but I want to hear more about your story.
Well, there's a long break because I probably once we got into middle school, there's a long break because we started liking girls. To be honest, we did.
You started liking girls maybe before I did.
Yeah.
I was a late bloomer,
and we got older and we were starting to be able to drive, so we would go to out and stuff more than just staying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know he was so liking. He never mentioned it once to me. He didn't. You never once even brought it up with me.
I wasn't necessarily collecting, but still trading.
You never talked about it. We would just do other stuff. We'd film dumb videos and go out and get bad food. Whatever. Just
like
we play video games. We wasn't Pokemon. We play Madden and all sorts of stuff.
Madden, Mario, a lot of GameCube and Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
But
and I was still chugging along with sports. And sports was pretty much consumed for all the way until I was like 18.
Yeah.
So I hit 18, went off to college. And then, I came back in a couple of years, came back. And then just that one night, I don't know why we decided that one night you were living in your apartment. And I went over there. Were you? Not yet.
No, I was still in my dad's house.
So I went over there and
I was still in high school.
This was after college.
Oh.
So you were doing your online stuff, I think.
Oh. Man, it's so long ago now.
I think you were doing online stuff.
Dude, I feel so old because it's so hard to even remember.
But yeah,
I remember collecting through the black and white era.
I didn't know anything about that era. Just totally knew nothing about all that sun and moon stuff.
So then you must have gotten me back to, because I know X and Y was when you got. I know X and Y. I think I got Y. X and Y was out when you got me back into it because I know when I got started, Sword and Shield base set was just about to come out.
Yeah.
When I got started with YouTube.
Yeah. So we went to I just said, dude, let's just go. Because I think I saw it. You know what I did? I saw a commercial for the Pokemon games, and I hadn't played one since I think Sapphire on the Game Boy Advance. That was the last time I played
X, Y, Ruby, and Sapphire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, EX, Ruby, and Sapphire. Yeah.
That was the last time I played one, and I saw I was like, dude, I want to play that again. I want to play them again. And
I had all the Game Boy games leading up. I had Yellow, and then went to whatever. Like I made sure I got every single year.
I didn't get Yellow. I got whatever came after.
Well, there's Platinum.
I might get Pearl.
There's Diamond and Pearl. That was after Black and no, that was before Black and White.
Yeah. But I never got like Green and Red. I never got that.
Ruby and Sapphire, Silver and Gold.
Yeah, I never got any of those. But
really?
No.
I had to have Silver with a Lugia.
I think we just got the different interests that we both liked though. We both like sports, so we can do that. And
Silver and Gold was after Yellow.
I played that with you.
Yellow.
I played Silver with you.
Silver with me, yeah. And then was it Ruby and Sapphire?
Yes, and I had Ruby. I went and got Ruby for the Game Boy Advance.
And I had Sapphire.
Yeah. And then after that, I was just nope. Another Pokemon pinball. That was it. And you have to go all the way until that day when I don't know how I talked to him. I said, dude, let's go. I want to go get a new Game Boy. And I was working, so I want to go get one. And we went and
what Game Boy was it? Was that Game Boy SP?
We'd have to go and look up all the different stuff in that time when they were coming out, but
probably whatever went in this.
Very close. It got all set up, and we just saw the cards, and we just remember we used to collect these, and I think you bought a binder. I did. I bought a binder that night.
You had a binder, and I went and bought a binder.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like they didn't have like Pokemon themed ones at the time, and it was just.
I don't remember how many packs we bought. I don't think I bought a ton because I just spent like $189.
So I wonder how. I can't even remember then how I got back into cards at Black and White. I could have been a series where I was just telling my parents buying packs. So I was having them buy me every game.
Yeah, because you didn't bring it up again really until.
I was comfortable like going and spending my own allowance on my own games.
Pre-COVID, you were buying packs. I remember that. I'd be with you and I'd see all this new stuff you were getting.
Yeah. Well, when we knew started collecting was pre-COVID.
Yeah, and I saw you were going online, like on eBay and stuff to look for cards and.
Because X and Y was about 2015, 2016. And I know that when we started on Toys R Us, it was X and Y.
Yes.
So.
But I hadn't met my wife yet, so.
When I graduated high school in 2008, I'm so old. So I was way after high school.
Yeah, I met her in 2014. Yeah, we got married. Yeah. So
I don't know.
Well, that, but I stayed with it. And I had my kids, so I got kind of with my kids too. I thought maybe they'd like it if we started. My youngest is cool with it, so he enjoys seeing it. Mine were kind of whatever, and that's fine. Of course, but and then Tyler started his video, and then I got excited because I wanted to be on YouTube. I didn't want to create, but I was thinking kind of cool to be on a YouTube video. And
Yeah.
You did that out of nowhere. It's out of nowhere. He didn't even mention me to me. I was thinking about doing it. He just out of nowhere sent me a link. I'm like, what is this? I was like, what is this? I pushed. I was like, what's going on? And then I explained. I was like, dude, I'm in to help.
Right. Well, I mean, like, it just makes it so cheesy that your best friend is it's your best friend's channel too.
Yeah.
So let's deep dive into this together.
So I was like, I'm in, dude. I am here to help.
And I know that I was collecting in black and white because I even found one of my really old Elite Trainer boxes of black and white plasma freeze.
You probably were.
So
I just don't remember what card packs were out when we did that. Was it black and white?
No, it was X and Y when we started at Toys R Us.
All right.
The black series, black and white series was just getting over.
Okay.
And it was X and Y was really big on Toys R Us. But then when I started my YouTube, we already went through all the Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
And the Sword and Shield, because we went through a lot even after we started to do Toys R Us, because we knew neither of us were married, neither of us had girlfriends. We were lonely losers when we started going back to Toys R Us. And then there was that law again in which I stick with it, and you kind of just stopped collecting cards again.
Yeah, because
you started getting our family and relationships and stuff like that,
yeah.
Regular life, and I was like, nerd, not collecting cards anymore. And then that's when you kind of get back into it. Was right when Sword and Shield started.
Yeah, because the game came out.
Sword and Shield game.
Yeah.
So there was Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee,
which I skipped over.
And which you
bought Pikachu and I saw it.
I loved actually that game. It was not great because they were trying to incorporate Pokemon Go style into it.
Yes.
In which I was not a huge fan of, but.
You had the app though. You had the Pokemon Go app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got that too briefly.
Yeah, but I wanted to play it. I wanted to play an actual legitimate game, but it was fun. But then Sword and Shield came out, and you got that one.
I got switched. I just got a Switch for my boy.
And I can't remember what one you got, but I got Sword.
You got Shield.
Nice.
Yeah.
But such an underrated game.
It was, for me, getting back into it, I liked it a lot.
So I don't know why Sword and Shield got beat up on so bad. But I love that game.
I like it a lot, and I love these new Pokemon I was like not familiar with. I was like, what is all this stuff? Like,
right.
And where's my favorite base guy? Like, there's nothing. It was just totally different starters. I don't know what starters were. It was the ape, the gorilla, grass one, whatever his name was.
Oh, Rillaboom,
and then I don't remember what the water. Water was the lizard, the gecko looking thing.
And Talion, yeah.
I don't know what's fine.
Fire was Scrubwormy.
There you
or
go.
It's your kids. It's Jax's favorite Pokemon, Scorbunny.
Scorbunny.
Scorbunny was that one, but how come I can't remember the final evolution?
I don't think
name. Like it's
I can't either.
I'm not gonna try to think about it anymore because I'll be thinking here in the podcast will be so lame. But there's, whatever. I can't think of the final evolution though. But
we'll figure it out at some point.
We're talking about the final evolutions, and so it felt like important to me that I needed to know the final evolution of that one. But
figure that out.
It's gonna bug me the whole episode, and then at the very end of the episode, I'm gonna say, "Oh, I got it."
No, I played that game a lot, and then I got my brother, and I showed him, and he bought it. He got into the game too. He got cards, and he bought the game.
That's awesome.
And
And your brother's been so supportive, and he shows up into a lot of our lives that we do together and stuff. Yeah. Another underrated game too was the remake of Diamond and Pearl from the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure if you. It was.
God, what?
I actually have.
You know what the box are, don't you?
Yeah, it's right here. Brilliant Diamond was the version I got. Such an underrated game. And
I got that too. I got Brilliant Diamond. Yes.
This game gets so much hate. And I absolutely loved this.
Yeah, I got Brilliant Diamond.
I don't know if it's, and maybe it's because, maybe it's for me. It's like, oh, it's the remake of the Diamond and Pearl, but for me, it was an amazing game. And maybe that's why it didn't get a good rep because the younger crowd that didn't play the original Diamond and Pearl. But
no, it's a nostalgia thing for those. Like when they redid. They didn't redo blue. They did redid red, and green was technically blue. right? I guess.
Yeah, they did the fire red and leaf green. Oh, maybe fire red, leaf green. I think was actually before ruby and sapphire. So I think it went silver, gold, leaf green, fire red. I got leaf green, and then EX ruby sapphire.
Yeah, but those two were remakes of the original red and blue.
Yeah,
I don't get why they changed the color,
but these new games are out. Like this is gonna be an unpopular take, but I absolutely hated Pokemon Arceus.
I didn't know. I wasn't a fan. I gave it a shot. I played it for a couple months, and
I even went and bought the Japanese version.
Yeah. I gave it a shot. I saw the open world look. I was like, okay, maybe, but it's too mission based, I guess.
They really wanted to take a Zelda.
It's very linear. You have to do this and find these in order to move on. It wasn't go roam around, fight trainers.
They took that game and made it after Breath of the Wild because that game was so popular, and Pokemon was like, let's make a game kind of based off that.
Yeah.
And make it look like Breath of the Wild, and because it was so popular. But that game bombed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it was popular to some people. And then Scarlet and Violet was another one that I think
I didn't play it. I watched videos of people playing it. And I thought, okay, I get what they're doing. I like the open world aspect of it, where you're not stuck going town to town.
Right.
You can go from this gym. Oh, I'm gonna go do this gym. That's not even in order. I'm gonna do this one now and then.
Yeah, and I don't like the open world kind of thing. It's better than Arceus because it has a little more of like a actual storyline that you're supposed to do. But you can go and do all these things. Like there's no like timeline. Like you're supposed to do this and then you go do this. And which maybe I'm just like a fiend for nostalgia, but I like that.
I do like the other one because even though the other ones were very linear, the older ones where you go from town to town in order, it just felt.
It felt like you were doing stuff in the right way.
Yeah, like you beat the one. You're like, oh man, that felt good. And I want to go to the next one.
And for me,
and the idea of finding new Pokemon in the next area too was the thing for me. Like, oh, there's gonna be different ones in this area now than I didn't see before. And
maybe it's the ADD thing. Like we need direction. We need to know that we're going in the right way. And like if there's too many things that you can do at once, it's like where do I begin? It's like when
I don't like games like that. I don't. No. I really have trouble with that.
I need directions. I need like this is what you do.
Here's your main issue. Here's your main thing. But there's all these like 5 side quests you could do. It's like whoa.
It's like when you were a kid and you have a really dirty room. Your room is so messy.
It's like where do I even start?
It's like where do I start? Where do I go from? Like how do I get going? You know what I mean? Where do I go from here? It's like, no, I need someone to go tell me you pick up that toy, and then you do that, and then you can go pick up that toy.
That's why Pokemon say, here, you're going here, you're going to pick one of these 3. Pick it. Okay, now you're going to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think my ADD was just like, no, bro, that ain't happening.
Me too. The ADHD, I was like, no, I need to know what I'm doing. I don't like just them leaving like, hey, do what you want.
I need direction now. Oh, man. So, who's your favorite Pokemon? Tell the people I know.
You know my favorite. I've had there's close ones.
Give me your like top 10 favorite.
Okay. We'll go top one. So number 1 is Gyarados. And it wasn't for a while, but then I learned what that Magikarp evolved in there. Because I thought Magikarp was stupid. I did. I thought it didn't. I literally was like, what is this fucking fish?
Right.
And I grew
this fucking fish does nothing.
Yeah, but as time went on, I was like, okay, he's kind of growing on me because he just does that. It just flops.
Right.
And then I saw the episode where he evolved. And I was like, holy shit. That is the most intimidating dragon water I've ever seen.
It goes from this stupid ass fish that can't do anything, looks delicious.
Yeah. And then it just got bigger. And I was like, oh my god, this thing looks. I saw he's so cool. And it's dragon and water. And I was like, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
I was so about it. And then the Pokemon 151. Didn't they have a special card for Magikarp now? Because he never got one.
No, it was Paldea evolved.
Yeah, he never had any kind of big card. They finally.
Magikarp got his.
Yeah, he got his card.
Got his token. I mean, they made cards, but it was like he never had a big one.
Yeah, but it was just nice. He's like, okay.
Unless you count that one with like Welmer, where it's from the side of the moon, but he just destroyed Magikarp.
That's number 1, and I still don't think Gyarados gets a lot of attention. I don't. He's known, but
he's a big known like favorite. But like compared to all the other like dragon type Pokemon, and like he's just.
I think it's because it comes from Magikarp. Because the other dragons come from these cool little like Dragonair, Dragonite, Dratini.
When you think like top tier like dragon Pokemon, you think like Dragonite, Charizard.
Yeah.
And like Gyarados is still there. Like he's in like, but he's just not like.
Not there because I have all these other dragons that are out now, like Flygon and.
Because I know a few people that, and I know one person that's favorite Pokemon is Gyarados too. But like, you're right though. Where it's like it's just kind of like when you think of Pokemon your favorite, it gets kind of pushed down.
He's not used a ton in any of the series. I know there's been a lot of series, but he's not really used. There was an episode where he was the main focus on the old series.
Yeah.
After that, you don't really. It's not really.
Yeah.
Pushed hard. And I don't know why.
And there were some sets that came out that would put up a good Gyarados card. Like there was the break point.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was this. He gets kind of snubbed a little bit.
Yeah, and then you got me the Japanese Dark Gyarados.
Yep, you got that graded at 9.
GCGC
8. And that's one of my favorite Gyarados is the Dark Gyarados.
It's just the way he looks. I don't know, somebody's so freaking intimidating.
Yeah,
he just looks
he's scarier, and it kind of has that old school Japanese artwork.
He just looks pissed off all the time. And it's like,
yeah,
I guess
for being such a powerful Pokemon and being so gnarly looking, like he does not get he got snubbed.
He did, and he just I get they want to make him all cute sometimes, but it's like no, like this is good. Make one that just looks like a mean son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like really, just he looks mean, and you can't tell if he's in a good mood. You just think he's pissed.
Everyone likes Dragonite because it's this gentle giant, and everyone likes Charizard because the whole storyline with Ash.
And Ash, yeah.
But yeah, you're right though. He's a popular Pokemon, but he does not get.
You don't hear him a lot of top 5.
Pokemon will only throw him in when they need that kind of intimidation factor, like in Detective Pikachu when they needed the Gyarados to come in and just destroy crap, destroy shit, and that's when they throw Gyarados.
He's so big.
But like they don't want to throw him and give him like his headline piece kind of a thing. No. Anyway, so let's go.
That was my number 1.
We'll do like top 5-ish.
Yeah. 2's tough because there's so many I can put there. 2. I don't know why this, but you can put these in any order. Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. I like them.
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. They can be either both 2 because they're kind of the same, or just 2. I don't care. But
2 and 3. 2 and 3 belong to Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee.
They're just cool.
They are. A lot of people I was a Hitmonlee fan.
Yeah, they're just cool. Dragonite. I like Dragonite. Yeah. 5 was I can look at this and just give them a good idea. 5 was probably. It's not a Jigglypuff. I was not a big fan of Jigglypuff. I know you were, but
I'm not a big fan.
Alakazam.
You were a big Zapdos fan too, weren't you? But Alakazam, you were a big Alakazam fan
because you couldn't get him.
You couldn't get him.
I was so mad I could get him, but he made me want.
You want what you can't have.
Yeah, and he was just. I think he just looks cool. I know some people think he looks stupid, but I think it's cool. I like the whole Abra. Yeah. Even though they got in trouble almost, or got sued because some guy was claiming that they were stealing his trademark, but.
Yeah, they just gave back Kadabra. They could do Abra and Alakazam. They couldn't do Kadabra.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd probably be a solid top 5.
It's a solid top 5 all Kanto region.
Yeah,
which is what you grew up in.
Yeah, I just kind of because I just didn't know enough about the newer ones. Totally. Gengar's +5 though. Gengar's right there. He's right 6th though. That's
Pokemon's favorite, of course. But so I'll give my top 5. I know I said before, and honestly, it fluctuates so much, especially with 3 through 5. But the most consistent top 5 for me would be number 1, Butterfree. Number 2, Pidgeotto. Yep. Represent. Number 3, Meryl. See,
that surprised me when you told me that.
I love
I
Meryl.
thought for sure you were going to say Pikachu. Because of how much you even growing up, you were just all about him.
Pikachu's in my top 10, but I don't know if he reaches top 5. Yeah. But Meryl, they all call him like the water Pikachu. Yeah. Because he came out during the next generation. He's the 2nd gen. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I like him. And I think the reason why Pikachu always dropped a little bit was because he was like everyone's favorite.
It was the face.
It was the face of Pokemon, and then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Pikachu's my favorite." I'm like, "You can't name another Pokemon."
Yeah.
And then
you got girls that like this is cute.
Yeah. So like, you knew nothing about Pokemon, but you knew Pikachu. You're like, "Oh yeah, I know Pikachu. I know Pokemon. Pokemon's my gig." Because of Pikachu, you know. So I feel like he just got. It's like when a song played on the radio for way too many
it's
times.
just overplayed.
And like you love that song, but then you don't love it so much because it's everywhere
It's
now.
overplayed and overused.
Yeah, so that's what
you can get it. It was Ash's first one.
Yeah.
That's your okay. So
that was number 3, and then number 4 is usually consistently Bulbasaur.
Okay.
And then number 5, and it's tough because there's so many Pokemon. Like it'll fluctuate between Venusaur, Pikachu.
Wouldn't Jigglypuff?
No,
Really? Why did I think you liked Jigglypuff?
I don't know. I was never a big Jigglypuff fan. I like Kirby. Kirby was on.
Were you a Togepi fan?
I love Togepi.
You did like Togepi.
I did love Togepi. But there, I don't know. I'm gonna think of one later. I'm like, oh, that's probably my number 5. But
On the spot, if you had to pick one.
Charmander, probably.
Okay. It's funny. I didn't pick any of the starters. You know, I didn't.
Yeah.
I could have. They're in my top something. Like Blastoise in my top 10.
The thing I like about Bulbasaur is he's the least favorite of the 3 starters.
But he's the best starter.
He's the best
Technically.
and he just rips, bro.
Yeah.
And the very first Pokemon, number 1, like in the
he's the very first one. Yeah.
the very first Pokemon. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I always like an underdog. And I always feel like when you're a kid, you're always like, oh, I love Charmander. Oh no, I'm a Squirtle. Like use Charmander or Squirtle. Like Bulbasaur never got
No, it is, but it's funny though. If you base off stats, Charmander's the worst stat-wise.
Yeah.
Then Bulbasaur, and then Squirtle's actually the best stat-wise. Even though he struggles the first 2 gyms, after that he just kills.
Yeah. Yeah. Bulbasaur is, and Bulbasaur, like advances levels usually typically in games a lot quicker than Squirtle and Charmander. Like he needs less XP.
No, he does. I think he evolves first out of all of them.
I think they all evolve around the same level.
Like level 11 or whatever it is, but
the first evolution to the second evolution, but like
from Ivysaur to Venusaur,
from Bulbasaur, from Ivysaur to Venusaur, I can't remember. I think he evolved first.
Level 30 something.
Yeah, and like Blastoise and Charizard are both level 35. And I think Venusaur is level 32.
I think you're right. I think so.
If I remember right.
Yeah.
And but anyways, like I think Bulbasaur needed less XP to gain a level in the game.
Yeah, and Bulbasaur has a good moveset as he gets bigger.
Dude,
Solar Beam,
even Vine Whip,
Razor.
Vine Whip kicked ass, and like.
And he has Giga Drain eventually, which is a killer move.
And the thing is I like about Bulbasaur is that, so like with Squirtle and Charmander, like Charmander was automatically beat by Squirtle with water moves.
Oh yeah.
And Squirtle was easily beaten by Bulbasaur with leaf moves.
Yeah.
But the thing is Bulbasaur was easily beaten by Charmander with fire moves. But eventually Bulbasaur in the line got a lot of ground moves.
You know, I've seen your Earthquake,
and you know.
Do you remember Rock Throw?
I think Rock Throw.
Yeah.
And stuff, and so then all of a sudden, oh, I can actually beat Charmander with this as long as I have enough potions.
Yeah.
You know.
Charizard was the one that could learn Fly out of the 3, which Fly is a good move, especially against. No, I can't remember what flying type we're good against. Are they good against normal?
What's that?
Flying type good against normal, or fly?
Flying's good pretty much against. I mean, it's kind of a normal move. It's kind of like I don't think it's. There's a lot of Pokemon that are.
I think it's good against. I think it's good against Grass type.
I want to say Grass type. Yeah, I was gonna say Grass type.
Yeah.
I think that's the main one that's like strong against. But
they each learn a different HM, can't they? Bulbasaur can learn Cut.
Bulbasaur can learn Cut.
I think Charmander can learn Cut.
I think they all can learn Cut.
But then there's Strength, which I think Bulbasaur eventually learn. I think he can learn that one. They all can learn Strength.
They all can learn Strength, but like Blastoise can only get Surf.
And then there was, has to be another one, Fly for Charizard.
Fly for
Bulbasaur only
Charizard.
learn 2 HMs? Or can you learn like those, like Flash, like those ones? Was Flash a TM or an HM?
Flash was a TM.
Okay, because I know they recommend you use them in those caves. So I don't know if it was
I don't know. I can't remember, man. That's
like hard to remember, but
I don't know if the new game's tied because they never played them long enough.
I don't even think they use HM really.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
No. I never played them long enough because I got so bored of like Arceus and Scarlet Valley. I played this Scarlet Valley after like the first like hour worth of playing, and I was like, I can't do this.
So the last real good game in your opinion was Let's Go Pikachu.
No, Brilliant.
Brilliant. Okay.
Brilliant Diamond. So, Let's Go Pikachu, Sword and Shield, and then Brilliant Diamond was all solid.
Okay. So I guess Sword and Shield were solid. The remake of Diamond and Pearl were solid. And then they kind of tried going another way. Kind of, but yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people. All right, least favorite. Just pick one. Your least favorite.
Least favorite Pokemon?
Just one.
That's tough because I have so many I hate.
Just one.
I'll be honest. There's so many Pokemon.
I know mine.
I know what yours is gonna be. It's gonna. I don't think I can name it down. I feel like it's gonna be an evolution off of previous.
I could rant about those forever, but I'm not gonna start that. That bothers me so much that they did. I don't like that. I don't like they added pre-evolutions and like
it's kind of I get it.
Like leave like certain ones, leave them.
For me, it's okay if they put them in the second gen.
Yeah.
Like the second gen evolutions off the original Gen 1 are okay in my opinion, but yeah, when they went back and added.
Yeah, like certain ones just leave. They don't need one.
Yeah.
I'm okay with some of them. Like, who was one that I was like? I get Pichu. I get it. Like, where does Pikachu come from? Okay, all right. It kind of is. And then I guess Tangela got a pre-evolved. And I want to say Tangela got a pre one before Tangela.
I don't know. No, it got the evolved version.
Or when Tangela, whatever the evolved form's called. What is the evolved form of Tangela?
I hate you so much right now because now you put me on the spot.
I don't remember it. I honestly don't remember.
Tangrowth.
That's the newer evolved one. Yes. Okay. Correct.
Yeah, that's the mighty evolution. Yeah. But I don't think there was no others.
Was Tangela by itself?
Tangela was by itself.
I thought it had one after Tangela.
No, it was a solo. It was like a Magmar.
Okay. Tentacool. And then Tentacruel. Okay, I'm thinking that.
I was like, no, that's a different Pokemon. But
yeah. I don't know if Tentacruel has one there either.
It was from Tentacruel. Well, now they have Toadschool and
which is the pre-evolved one, correct?
No, so it's like the shiny version of it, but it's a different Pokemon kind of because it's I don't know how they're considering it.
My biggest one was they should have left Electabuzz alone.
Yeah.
I don't think Electabuzz needed. Okay, I can tell you the ones that needed one. Electabuzz, Magmar, Farfetch'd. Right, he got one.
Sir, he went to Stir Farfetch'd.
Those three, I think, should have stayed.
Yeah.
Because it makes them unique that they don't have evolved forms.
Yeah.
So it makes them different.
I get it. Yeah.
And I get it's hard to think of new creatures all the time, so sometimes you got to go back and
see the problem with that. So with Electabuzz, they came out with a pre-evolution of Electabuzz, which Elekid in Gen 2. So then I think they had this Gen 2 all of a sudden. They had this Gen, or they had the first 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's build a 3. I was like, no. No one even knew. No one even thinks about Elekid. Who cares?
No. Okay. If you had to pick one least favorite, I know you have a lot. There's one that just really gets under your skin.
So
it can be based off how it looks or whatever. Yeah.
I had a phase where I was pulling this card every single time, this ultra rare, and it made me hate the Pokemon because I just kept on freaking pulling it. And I think it was during the darkness. I think it was Darkness Blaze, but Lilligant.
Yeah, I've seen your videos. You're just like,
I hate Lilligant so much because of it. Man, but there's a lot of Pokemon I do not care for.
Well, mine is Zubat.
Really?
I don't like Zubat. I don't like the way he looks.
I don't like Zubat either.
He's just annoying. Like how many times I ran into caves was obnoxiously annoying.
Yeah.
And he's not even good. Yeah, he's not. He's tried good. He's
even
not.
Golbat wasn't that great.
No. And then Crobat. I'm okay with Crobat.
Yeah, because they added another Pokemon to a suck line that we don't care about. So.
But yeah, Zubat just obnoxious.
Yeah.
All those cave ones were obnoxious. Geodude, I kind of like you because I'll give you a break because he evolved into cool. once.
Yeah.
I grabbed one goal and
Mm-hmm.
but it goes from an annoying bat to a bigger annoying bat. That's all it is.
Oh, great. Got even a worse one.
Yeah.
I don't like. I really like. I hate Spearow.
Well, because you're no. I gotta ask you this: why not Pidgeot? What made Pidgeotto more impressive than Pidgeot?
And that's another one that always fights with the number 5 spot, Pidgeot.
Okay.
I really like Pidgeot, but I think it's because Ash caught Pidgeotto. He didn't catch a Pidgey, he caught a Pidgeotto.
That's right, he didn't catch a Pidgey.
And he had Pidgeotto, and Pidgeotto it stayed as a Pidgeotto for most of its life.
It did. You're correct.
In the TV series, so it didn't evolve into a Pidgeot until way later.
You are correct.
And so
he caught. No, the first Pokemon he ever caught was it Caterpie.
Caterpie, yeah.
And then that emotional goodbye when Butterfree left.
Yeah, and then I think Caterpie evolved into a Metapod when it was battling Pidgeotto.
Yes, it did.
Because he was trying to catch the Pidgeotto. Yeah. And then
you think about how quick those evolved in that show, though? How quick it went from Caterpie to Butterfree?
It was like he caught the Caterpie in the next episode. It was a Metapod. And then they had the famous battle.
Yeah.
Where it was Metapod versus Metapod.
Yeah.
And they just kept or was it Metapod versus Kakuna?
Yeah,
no.
They just kept doing Harden. No, it was Metapod.
Harden. And Misty just falls over.
Yeah, and then eventually just all of a sudden, like, why it's evolving, and then there's Butterfree.
Oh, man.
Do I like that Butterfree left to go be with the girlfriend? I don't think it was a dumb way to do it. I think he should have just stayed with.
Yeah, that was stupid. Bye Butterfree. That was a stupid episode. Worst episode of all time.
I think that. I mean, it'd be cool if they made that pink Butterfree thing.
Yeah.
They never made that into a.
Well, they did.
It's a different region.
It's a shiny.
Oh, it's just shiny. Okay.
It's a shiny Butterfree.
All right, that's a different region.
I have one in Pokemon Go. It's a lucky trade too. So it's a lucky shiny Butterfree.
You know what my least favorite bug one is out of those though?
Yeah.
There's Venomoth and Venonat. And then what's Venonat? No, Venomoth. The Venomoth. Venomoth is my least favorite.
So Venonat evolves into Venomoth.
Yeah. It's like, I like Beedrill. Beedrill's cool, I think.
Beedrill's dope. Like, I wanted to dislike Weedle and Beedrill.
Yeah.
But, like, if I'm playing a game and I can't get Caterpie, I'm okay with getting Beedrill.
Yeah, I'll do Beedrill. Kakuna just looks gross to me.
Yeah.
That
looks like something in my nightstand drawer that I only pull out when I get lucky.
When I need it.
When I need it, you know what I mean?
It just looks
Oh, God.
But that was my 5, and then that was my least favorite, was Zubat. And then second gen, we can do another list, and I could probably give you a few.
Yeah, we'll have to do another podcast episode.
Another list. Yeah, we're doing a list episode.
And we'll have to make a list. Well, this is like the first go around, so we're just practicing, and kind of like this is fun for me because
that was actually we got into it.
Yeah. But I do want to end this podcast on one question.
Well, I want to bring something too before you go.
Okay. You go first.
How did you feel about the stones? The ones that only evolve with stones.
I hated it.
You did? Okay, because you had to spend money, right? You had to go buy them, and some of them were ridiculous.
I'm like, bro, I need more Ultra Balls.
Yeah.
But I need the stones so I can evolve my.
Because a lot of them couldn't
Vulpix.
evolve without the water stone, like Poliwhirl.
Yeah.
Couldn't evolve with Poliwrathel, but.
Vulpix needed the Fire Stone, right?
Firestone. Eevee needed all 3 stones evolving into something.
Yeah.
Raichu, Pichu only evolved with the Thunder Stone. Which I feel like they made Raichu look like a bad guy. They really made Raichu look like a jerk.
And Raichu's so adorable when it comes to
just because Pikachu would evolve and refused, it just made Raichu look like. And then they made him a jerk too. So then Sturgis was a jerk.
Yeah. Sturgis was a jerk, and then his Raichu was a jerk. Based off of that.
So I was like, man, Raichu's cool looking though.
Yeah, that's a good question though.
The stones, I don't. What did they replace the stones with something else? Because how do you evolve Eevee to Espeon now? What do they use for that?
What?
How do you evolve Eevee into Espeon?
I don't know how to do it in the game. Because it's all different. Like I know in like Pokemon Go, you just have to rename your Eevee a certain name.
Oh, that'd be easy.
And then it evolved into that Pokemon. You can only do it once.
Dude, that would take over stones. Like, yeah, you'll pick which one.
So, like, if you wanted to evolve it into Leafeon, you would just name your Eevee like Leaf Guy or something weird like that. You know what I mean?
Something with the word leaf in it, and just
Or something like that, yeah. And then you hit the evolve button, and then it automatically somehow evolves into that Pokemon. You could only do it once in Pokemon Go, so you still could only get Flareon, Vaporeon, or Jolteon.
The stones,
Unless you use that rename trick, which again you can only do it once.
I just know stones.
That is a good question though. Let us know in the comments. How do you feel about the stone evolutions? If you're, during that generation.
I didn't like buying moves either. Some of the best moves you need, like Blizzard,
yeah,
because you need that against the Dragon type, which is the fourth Final Four member.
Yeah,
the Dragon.
Yeah,
because you can't really just catch an ice type.
I mean,
were there really any ice type? Look, Lapras was an ice type.
Lapras.
But you got for free after you did one of the Team Rocket things.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there any other?
Ice wasn't really like a thing in the Kanto region. It was there's ice moves.
There's moves, but Articuno was like the only.
Articuno, yeah, but you could teach like Blastoise some ice moves and stuff. But like I think Blastoise could do Blizzard.
Probably, but that was just frustrating me. So that last, you remember, because that's really what only dragons are weak against is ice type moves.
Yeah,
it's like, we don't have any right here. So I got Mewtwo. Mewtwo just pretty much killed everyone when we did that. But
yeah,
you remember how to get Mewtwo? You remember how we did that?
You had to walk somewhere like weird. You had to walk. You had to walk somewhere, and then all of a sudden
it was after we found the Elite Four.
Yeah, and then you go and you walk somewhere, and then. It was something like almost like a cheat code kind of thing. Like it wasn't like it was built in the game, obviously.
Yeah, you had to do like some cave or something. I can't remember.
It was really weird. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It was also like in the where you fight Red at the end of one of the.
Yeah.
Which one was that? That was no, that was Gold and Silver. Where you can go to a cave and there's Ash, but they call him Red.
Yeah. It's kind of like in the Blue and Red though when you get the.
You get the birds, right?
Or no, but you get like there's a glitch in the game where you get
missing number. Yeah.
And everyone just assumed that was you. But it was like no, that was just a glitch in the game.
Glitch that ruined your game if you
caught it.
Yeah, you ruined your game. I think that caused like save corruptions.
You save corruptions if you lose your save. Like I remember when you were playing the Game Boy game and you do it in the middle of a trade. And you rip the cord out.
You're done.
You're done. Well, it could ruin it, or it could also where if you rip the cord out during the middle of the trade, you will start your Game Boy back up and you had your Pokemon that you were trading, and then you still received the other Pokemon.
Oh, so it could also work in two. Okay,
it was
either get a double or nothing.
I remember my brother did it so much because he kept on trading his Charizard, but not really trading his Charizard for Pokemon.
Yeah,
he would rip the cord. Turn back on, he got his Charizard, and now he has a Venusaur too. But he did it so many times, and eventually it corrupted it, and then he turned it back on, and it was no longer there. His whole profile was gone.
All right, what's your last question you got?
So you were talking about how much you love Pokemon Pinball.
Yes.
You love that fucking game, you said. Your words. Yeah. But I also know you loved Pokemon Stadium. Like Nintendo 64.
I did as far as the PlayStation guy growing up.
I threw up on a PlayStation all the time. I love throwing up on PlayStation.
Yeah. So I know the only time we played was at your house, getting N64.
Okay. I was gonna ask you would you rather play pinball or Pokemon Stadium?
Oh, pinball.
But
I like Stadium, but pinball was
now that makes sense now that you weren't playing it. Yeah. But then would you go back to original Pokemon Blue or Red? Or would you stick with pinball?
I'd go back to the original games. I would.
Okay. Did you ever play the trading card game? The Game Boy game? Pokemon trading card?
Yes. I did. I remember though, yeah.
That's how we learned how to play the game, was playing the Game Boy. There was a Game Boy game that came out right after Red and Blue. That was the trading card game, and you got trading cards.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah. And so that was how we learned how to play the game. Everyone's like, "Oh, you guys don't play the game."
Which Pokemon Stadium? Did you have both of them running into? Or just
I had one, yeah. Pokemon 1, Stadium 1, the first Stadium was amazing. The second Stadium was pretty good because it started incorporated into.
Yeah, so Mew was in there.
Mew was in there, but also had like Ho-Oh, Lugia,
yes,
all that.
So there was a pretty big gap between the games, wasn't there?
Yeah, so Stadium, I want to say, came out like probably right when the card
Like
came out.
96, right in there.
I don't know. Maybe
No,
like 98, 99.
98, and then all of a sudden, like until 2001 or something.
2002, maybe?
Like the last ditch ever for the N64.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played that, and Pokemon Snap was, I like that. I know it was short, but it was cool. Because some of the little secrets to like get certain ones, like, I'll throw this in the ball, and Charizard comes in.
And I actually, before we end it, I wanted to ask you one more question. We technically could get into it on our second podcast.
You can tease it.
But I got to know now. Because I know this is, my opinion is corrupt. And like, well, not corrupt, but it's like a lot of people be mad at me. In our age group.
Okay.
Nintendo 64 or GameCube.
I like the GameCube.
Me too.
I was a big GameCube guy. That's the first next gen I bought. I bought it over the PlayStation 3.
I remember.
No. Was it PlayStation 3, GameCube? Yeah, so I bought it over PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah.
I didn't have GameCube.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
I liked it. I did. Because I liked the teeny tiny disc.
I remember I was still playing in our old house.
Yeah, Mario Party.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Mario Party.
The Wave controller came out, that was wireless. Yeah. Everyone's like, whoa.
Yeah. There was some, I mean, I know it people say it was sucked, but as I got like, you know what? It was a good console. It just didn't get the love it deserved. It really did.
Everyone's like Nintendo 64, bro. That's legitness. I'm like, everyone likes GameCube still, but everyone's like, oh no, it's 64.
Yeah, because you got to think when that GameCube came out, they had to compete with the 360, which dominated that area. The 360 was huge in that area. Yeah. PlayStation 3 was too pricey, so they didn't do as well. They went like $600.
I think GameCube was more, a little. It came out after, but I think it was during the switch from PS2 and PS3. So I think GameCube came out during regular PS2.
Yeah, PS2 was still pulling, but the GameCube went out early, just like it was the Wii. The Wii came out like a year or two before the Xbox One.
Oh yeah,
and the PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. All right, man. What? I mean, this was fun.
That was a good start. I honest to God think we're going to enjoy this. I really do.
Yeah, that's our part is getting people to watch it.
Yeah.
But if nothing else, we got a really good conversation, and I thought this was fun.
Yeah, and it can be anywhere. I can be at home one day and like, dude, I want to do it. Like, all right, let me sign on.
But I really do appreciate you coming in and,
of course,
joining the group.
I'm honored to be the first guest.
The first Thrillz podcast episode. This was fun. I really like it, and this is just paving the way for great future podcasts.
And people can comment questions they want to know about, or how we feel on certain things, or you feel.
If they have questions for you, then we can have you on again, and we'll make sure to ask those questions.
Yeah. You don't agree with my opinion, or just I don't care.
No, they all agree with everything we said. They have no disagreement.
They don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice. You guys all agree, and I appreciate you all agreeing and just being okay with that.
We appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, we'll see you all later, Poke Posse. Thank you for tuning in and enjoying the first Thrillz podcast. This was interesting and a lot of fun. And nothing else. We had a good conversation for a couple hours.
Yep.